What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'm going to let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to get some shots out to the early birds, starting with dun, dun, dun. Tanisha. What's up, Tanisha Washington? Who was that? Lewis Wetzel. What it do? We got Mr. Stunt. Mr. Stunt on YouTube. What up? China Carter. China Carter. What up? African Pride. African Nation. What's up? African Nation. Pretty TLC, that girl. Who is that? Is that Dramon or Drayman? Queen Bee Me. Marcellus Beasley. Billion. $93 billion. What's up, Joyce? Aiken Sports. Marcus Brooks. I see you. Reginald Johnson. What it do? Okay, Peanut. I see it, Sherry. I'm going in, fam. I'm going in. Going in. This is crazy right here, fam. This dude right here. This dude. This is straight madness. Family, we're pretty much in a recession right now. And these guys are out here blowing billions of dollars, blowing millions on seafood. Millions in 1 month. This is in 1 month, by the way. 1 month. Family, here's a story. Here's a story in the Independent. U.S. military spent $9 million on crab legs and lobster in run-up before launching attack on Iran. Wow. $9 million on crabs and lobster. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Pentagon, apparently isn't feeling the same affordability struggles as many average Americans, as he approved spending more than $93 billion in September, including on luxury food items and iPads. A new analysis published by government watchdog Open the Books found that in September, the end of the 2025 fiscal year, Hegseth reportedly burned through cash, including spending $9 million on crab and lobster dinners. According to military.com. Fam, I don't understand. I don't think y'all understand. Me just reading this is doing something to my health. I'm reading it, but it's stressing me the hell out. I know some of y'all say, don't let it get to you, man. It is what it is now, man. Because I'm thinking about all of the people who could have used that money. I'm thinking about how people suffering right now, man, and they blowing money like this. According to military.com, an increase in military officials eating pricey meals has traditionally been viewed as a sign that something may be brewing, such as President Donald Trump's war in Iran, though it appears Hegseth has been dining well at the Pentagon since at least last spring. The spending review found that in the month of September alone, the Defense Department spent $6.9 million in total on lobster tails and $2 million on Alaskan king crab, according to the government watchdog. In 2025, the department also spent more than $7.4 million on lobster tail across the months of March, May, June, and October. The decadent seafood wasn't the only expensive sustenance purchased at the Pentagon. Hegseth also spent approximately $15.1 million on ribeye steak in September, $124,000 for a new ice machine or machines, and $139,224 on donut orders. Whoo, man. Sugar, do your thing. Due to the way federal funding works, there is pressure on department heads to end their fiscal years without a surplus of funds. If they do, it raises questions in Congress as to whether or not the agency or department needs a reduction in its annual budget. So let's stop right there. We'll come back. So basically what they're saying is use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. But they'd rather blow money. They'd rather blow millions of dollars on food than to spend millions of dollars, spend those millions of dollars and just give it to people who are truly in need of food, who can truly be nurtured by that food. They'd rather blow it on themselves, eating the best, the best of the best, the most expensive of the most expensive. But somehow, some way, we're supposed to believe that they have our best interest at heart. That said, some of the purchases are lavish. In September, Hegseth spent nearly $100,000 on a Steinway & Sons grand piano to outfit the home of the Air Force Chief of Staff. He also spent $5.3 million on Apple services, including brand new iPads, according to the report. The Pentagon paid $225.6 million for furniture, including $12,540 for fruit basket stands and more than $60,000 for high-end furniture maker Herman Miller recliners. The agency spent more money on furniture in 2025 than it has since 2014. So in 1 year, they spent more money than they had spent the previous 11 years. The article says, to be fair, Hegseth, the military, has been spending enormous amounts of money on furniture for decades. According to the analysis, the Defense Department has spent an average of $257.6 million on furniture every September since 2008, marking a 564% on average increase above its typical furniture spending throughout the year. So they create DOGE to save the taxpayers billions, while at the same time spending hundreds of millions on furniture, new furniture every damn year. Every year. They getting the top of the line furniture that would probably, if I would take a wild guess, it's the best of the best furniture. So that furniture probably is heirloom type furniture, the kind of furniture that could last for 50, 60 years. in great shape for at least 10 to 20 years. But they're spending over $257 million every single year replacing it. Hegseth isn't actually the worst offender. Former President Barack Obama routinely spent between $300 to $400 million on furniture in September during his years in office, according to the report. So listen, family, these motherfuckers are spending damn near $500 million on new White House furniture every single year. Every year, they're spending damn near $500 million on furniture. No wonder America is got $40 trillion in debt. They spending $500 million off of just for furniture every year. Spending on furniture decreased under President Joe Biden, though it's worth noting his first 2 years saw many federal employees working from home due to the coronavirus pandemic. So had it not been for the coronavirus pandemic, he would have probably spent over $250 million for furniture. The Pentagon's most expensive spending spree during September was on grants and contracts. In that month alone, the Defense Department spent more than $90 billion on contracts and on grants and contracts. So that's where the majority of the billion, the $93 billion, went. But even still, let's take a look at that $90 billion for grants and contracts. Family, you know that money could have been better used to help out our vets, right? They claim to care about the veterans. They claim to love the veterans. They always want to salute the veterans at the ball games and all of that stuff, right? Wouldn't that money have been better suited for our veterans? You know, how about allocating contracts, the remaining contracts, anything that wasn't spent by September? How about allocating that money, or at least one contract, at least one contract to help our veterans whose lives have been destroyed serving this country? There are literally tens of thousands of veterans all over the streets of the United States of America, sleeping on benches, sleeping under bridges, sleeping in front of office buildings, on the ground, on the sidewalk. There are veterans who cannot get their benefits, who are sleeping in the back room of a relative's house, who can't move because they sacrificed a leg or two in combat. How about give them some damn contract? How about give some contracts to make their lives just a little easier? How about taking some of that money and giving them billions of dollars to some of these organizations that really do the work? I ain't talking about Red Cross, Blue Shield. I'm talking about boots on the ground. The organizations out there that's really doing the work, the boutique, so to speak, charitable organizations, the nonprofits that always got to raise money every year. They got to go out in the streets and ask people for money. They got to wash cars. They got to have a fundraiser every year, like just to pay the damn rent. How about giving them some of them damn contracts? The people that's doing the work for real. You can see it with your own eyes. You can see it in real time. The ones who's got offices in these old dilapidated buildings. They still got antiquated equipment, but they still getting the job done. How about giving them the damn contracts instead of continuing to make the rich richer? Shooting your buddy over here with this agency, with your buddy over here with this company, an extra $1 billion contract. You know what, man? Call me, I'm gonna give you a couple billion. I got something for you, man. You know, giving them an extra, these companies are already paid. They're already sitting on billions. They're already sitting on it, and you giving them more. Yeah, fam. So this is just more proof. We already knew a lot of this was going on, but to this extent, thank God for that watchdog agency. Thank God for the watchdogs. That's why Trump came in getting rid of those, the government oversight committees. All of these watchdog organizations, Trump came in day one getting rid of those committees. He got rid of those departments. He got rid of the consumer watchdog departments. He got rid of them. Because it's easier to run them up with the money if you're going unchecked. It says, under Secretary Hegseth, the Pentagon has consistently said its mission is to refocus on warfighting and lethality. Open the Book CEO John Hart said in the analysis last year, we highlighted the problem of wasteful use it or lose it in spending, year-end spending. We noted that this reform is fully within the Secretary's control and is an historic opportunity to make good on that promise. California Governor Gavin Newsom drew attention to the Pentagon spending in a social media post featuring an AI-generated image of Hegseth kicking back in a posh recliner surrounded by a grand piano, numerous iPads, and plates filled with lobster tail and steak. Hegseth blowing $93 billion on taxpayers' dollars in 1 month, he said. $93 billion in 1 month. So rather than take a look at that 93 million and put that 93 million back in the pot because they didn't use it, put it back in the pot. And that way, the following year, it can be, we got even more money in the pot, and that money can be better distributed. Rather than them taking a look and saying, yo, we really don't need all this money. You know, we got a budget of $1 trillion. We only really needed 970 billion. This other 93 we really didn't need. So let's get that back so the country can do something else with that money, reallocate that money, because we didn't need all of that money. We don't need that much. They're never gonna roll back. They're always going forward. They're always rolling forward. They'll never, even if they know for a fact they don't need all of this extra, this surplus of money. Every year, the goal is to get even more. I can guarantee you, they went to Congress and asked for more money in 2025. I can guarantee you, even knowing that they had all that unused money sitting there. I guarantee you they went to Congress and asked for more money. And then they're gonna ask for more money this year. Ooh-wee, man. Going into the comments. Karen C, what's up? What's up, Adrian Williams? Cocoa Butterfly. See, fam, I'm not even supposed to be allowing this to get to me like this. I know these people play games. I know these people are wicked. I know they're thieves. I know they're corrupt. So I'm supposed to be able to deal with this better than what I'm dealing with it. But this make my head hurt, man. This make my head hurt. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get me a drink, fam. I'm gonna have to go get a drink or something. Get me some drink. Get me take some calm or something like that. You know, I gotta calm my nerves. I can't. I gotta calm my nerves. Damn. These uncivilized mutts. I don't smoke, bro. I say get a blunt. Now, I don't do no smoking. I don't do no smoking. I don't pop no pills. I don't do no drugs. You know, having me a drink every now and then is about the most I'll do. You know, and I hadn't had anything to drink in a few weeks, so I'm cool with that. Yeah, man. It's cold-blooded right here. Mark Moore, what's up? Ronnie Jackson, E. Williams. Yeah. Let's look at the rest of this article. Congresswoman Melanie Stansbury, this is good news. A New Mexico Democrat said she planned to launch an investigation into Hegseth's spending. In addition to billions of taxpayer dollars being burned in this war in Iran, reports are showing that Secretary Pete Hegseth blew $93 billion in federal DOD funding at the end of last year. She said, you better believe we'll be investigating. Democratic Congressman Chuck Schumer called Hegseth a grifter on social media. Hegseth spent $93 billion in 1 month, roughly the cost of extending the ACA tax credits for 3 years. But instead of lowering America's health care costs, Hegseth used millions of taxpayers' dollars on fruit baskets, Herman Miller recliners, ice cream machines, Alaskan king crabs, and Steinway and Sons grand piano. He wrote, a true grifter in every sense of the word. This is cold-blooded, fam. Like $93 billion, hey man, they could have kicked that back and brought healthcare all the way down. They could have made healthcare affordable for all Americans. See, the thing is, fam, is that this country has money for everything that it wants to have money for. Anything this country wants money for, somehow, some way, they come up with the money. See, there's an old saying, don't tell me what you care about. Show me your budget, and I'll tell you what you care about. Show me your bank account. I'll tell you what you care about, because what you care about is what you spend your money on. So I can look at everybody watching me right now. I can look at everybody's bank records right now. I can look at your bank record right now, and I'll tell you what you care about without knowing anything about you. All I got to do is look at what you're spending your money on, and that will tell me what you care about. So all we got to do is look at what America spends its money on. All we got to do is look at all we have to do is look at what our politicians are spending money on. And that'll tell you what they care about. It don't matter what's coming out of their mouth. Action speaks louder than words. Let's look at the budget. Let's look at what they're spending money on. And that's going to tell us what they care about. I learned a long time ago, this was like at least, 2.5 decades ago or so, that America did not care about its kids. Because America, all across the board, in every state, they started pulling back on after school programs. They started taking money out of those programs. But let me tell you something. For kids who got a lot of extra time on their hands and don't have a lot of supervision, those after-school programs were lifesavers because it kept them off the streets and it kept them busy. And I don't mind as a devil's workshop, meaning that if you don't have anything to do, oftentimes you'll find something negative to do. It's easy to get into something negative if you don't have something positive to do. So this is what these uncivilized mutts did. They took away the after-school programs. And what happened? That left the kids on the streets. It left the kids to their own devices. Oftentimes, those after-school programs had mentors at the helm. They had coaches and teachers who could mentor kids in the after hours. Somebody who could keep them on the straight and narrow. This uncivilized mud-ass country took that away. They pulled all of those programs away. They took them from the kids and left the kids to their own devices. And what do you have now? This was intentional, man. It wasn't a mistake. They knew that this would happen. They knew that those kids would end up in trouble, especially when you start talking about kids who were already marginalized, kids who was already coming from environments where they were at risk. They knew what would happen. They did it intentionally. See, that's what pissed me off. That's the type of stuff that pissed me off. Talking about taking a whole hour to talk about Kamala Harris saying that she told us so. I'm gonna blow a gasket because she said I'm tired of her saying I told you so. I'm not concerned about that. Ain't nothing can be done about that. What would make me blow a gasket is the condition of Americans. What would make me blow a gasket is these uncivilized mutts taking our tax dollars and blowing them while people in this country suffer. That's what run me to hell hot. That's what pissed me off. Who is that? Mark Moore. What's up, Mark? Appreciate you. Mark dropped a C note on me. I see E. Williams got a new member. E. Williams, y'all show Mark and E. Williams some love, fam. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, that's what run me hot, fam. I don't like it. I don't like it. And this is why I do what I do. I devoted, my life to this, fam. Speaking up for the voiceless, being the voice for the voiceless. And let me tell you something. I've been doing it since 1989. I could have easily went another route because I know how to do that if I wanted to. I could easily do it another way. It's easy to not make waves and just get paid. That's easy. I got 1 million subscribers. I should have 10 million for the work that I put in, but y'all know how that go. Sometimes people just, they target your channel and they try to do things to make sure you don't, only can get so, you know what I'm saying? All of that. Yeah. But even in addition to that, if you're talking about nothing, if you're taking the low hanging fruit, if you're talking about senseless things that don't even matter, gossip and what rapper mad at what rapper and all this shit, man. Hey, man, you can all day, every day, but that don't do nothing for my spirit. That don't feel my spirit. I say, I got to do something. Like, it's just like when I was making music. If I'm going to take an hour, I got a whole hour to talk to people who might be going through all kinds of things. And I got an entire hour. We making this record and we got an hour. We got people's undivided attention for an hour. What are you going to say? That's how I look at it. What are you going to say? What are you going to say that can give them some information and instructions to help them navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world? What are you going to say to lighten the load? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you going to say? That's how I rock. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.